This podcast contains an English accent that most of our Irish listeners will find offensive. Also, there may be some colourful language that you're going to find less offensive. Now, over to Ryan and Leon. Enjoy the podcast.
I recall going to see Lem Sissay in Manchester in the mid-80s, would it have been? And John Cooper Clarke, you know, the punk poet. I guess in the late 70s, before the outbreak of punk, we would struggle to find anyone who would have read a poem that actually related to things that they'd seen. You know, but even now, everybody can relate. Everyone knows where Beasley Street is, even if Beasley Street doesn't exist. There's one somewhere around, not around where I live.
you got away from that.
I dodged that bullet, but you know, it's like there's a Beasley Street everywhere, so everybody knows the imagery. So it kind of connected with a young audience for the first time in a long time, I would have thought.
For the moment, I thought that was Mike Carey.
Well, I'd have thought you'd have recognised his voice, seeing as you were part of the many thousands of people in Croke Park.
Well, I was forced. I was like,
weekend.
is that Mike Carey? And then I went, sure, it is himself.
Yeah.
Big lame-o.
No, that was Noel.
That was Noel. Fuck's sake. They sound the same. They sound the same.
They sound the same.
Sound fucking exactly the same. Sure, they
sound the
share
same.
the same womb. Of course they sound the same.
Did they sound the same
We
on stage?
believe in each other. What? Yeah. They were fucking unreal.
Were they? Yeah?
They weren't scrapping, which is great.
That's good.
I was raw and crying. At one point my missus turned to me.
Crying?
My missus turned to me and she goes, will you stop fucking crying? And I just went, I can't.
At what moment did you start crying?
Noel started playing Talk Tonight, and then I was like, that just got me. And then straight after he played Half the World Away, and I was just an emotional mess for a good 10 minutes, I'd say.
Yeah, you would.
Do you know? It's like a John Lewis Christmas advertisement. You know what I mean?
I can't think of anything in my lifetime, apart from like maybe sport, that turned the city on like Oasis in Dublin did. Like, I was in town as well.
Yeah.
I didn't go to the gig, but I was in town all day Saturday, and every third person had a fucking Oasis shirt. The queue round the road from the Stephen's Green merchandise shop was fucking snaking around, and it was like 4 o'clock on the Saturday, 3 hours before the gig. It just switched on the place. I don't know where it equates to.
Did you even see the video of like people singing on the street? Like, the gig is on, they're not even at the gig, but they're outside singing. Did you not?
No.
Oh, I'll have to shout
So people that couldn't go to the gig were
literally
had a mini concert.
They were outside Croke Park, outside the walls of Croke Park, just listening to the concert and singing. And I think they're singing Half the World Away. And like, there's hundreds of them just out in the street, and they're all fucking having a bop. Because a lot of the pubs are like, just drink outside, and you'll be able to hear it. So if you can't go, you might as well come close. Listen to the gig. It's the best you're going to get.
Imagine like being outside Cusacks on the North Strand with a couple of warm lagers, listening to that.
Oh, they're cold. This isn't Britain. You know, the lagers are cold here, you know, as they should be.
Plastic glasses.
Yeah.
But it was worth going.
It was fucking incredible. I saw them in Slane in 2009. So I was 17 at the time. And like, it was incredible, but I was 17. I didn't fucking know on, you know. But like, the Prodigy warmed up for them, and it was the Prodigy and Kasabian. So like, that was a pretty good lineup. But again, I was only 17. Whereas I think they were still gigging, you know, at that time quite consistently. Whereas
they were putting out shite.
They were sick of each other.
Yeah.
That was the last Irish gig they played. They played it in Belfast a couple of days after, and that was it. Like, you know, so then obviously the amount of years they've been off now, I think everyone just treat it as if this will never happen again. You know, and I think I don't
think it will. I don't think it will. It won't be like Westlife saying goodbye 6 times in the last 5 years.
I don't know if this is the going away tour. I'm not sure if they market it as the going away tour, or like this is the end.
I think it's so definitive that they don't need to say that it's an end or beginning. It's just, this is once. I don't think this is going to be
they're going on a world tour.
Yeah, but I don't think this is going to keep going. They're not going to release new music, are they?
No, I don't think so. I think every couple of years they might come back together and check the bank balances and go, look, we made fucking millions off this tour, so let's just do it again. And I don't care. I don't care. They can do it. I don't care if I'm buying fucking the Gallaghers new bleeding Bentleys. I don't give a rat's. I'll gladly give the money for Bentleys. I can't afford them. I don't care. I just want to be.
You don't feel robbed in any way.
Not in any capacity. I literally on Sunday, right? So I went on the Saturday, and then my auntie or my uncle and my cousin went on the Sunday. But his wife was like, "Fuck this! I'm having a big party because I'm not sitting on my own, chewing on a bone 1,000 miles away from home." That is a little reference. Anyway, but they were like having a party over my auntie, so I was like, "Fuck it, I'll go as well." But I spent the whole time having a great time, but like, just wish I was at Oasis again.
Okay.
I think I have post Oasis syndrome.
I think the whole country might.
I'm just like, what do I do? I've peaked now in my life. It doesn't get better.
I don't quite. I'm still trying to work it out because I love Liam and Noel. I actually flew to Manchester to see Liam Gallagher perform the music of the 25th year anniversary of Definitely Maybe.
Yeah.
And I went to Manchester, I went to the Co-op Arena and watched him, and it was fucking class. I flew over, it made the whole weekend of it, like me and the lads. I still felt, I didn't quite understand, like there's a huge gap between people who would have flown to Manchester for that tour and the amount of people that just lost their minds that Oasis are playing. And I can't quite figure out, is it just like a lot of people that music doesn't really go away, and like it's specifically that album that represents the going out time?
I've been to see, I saw High Flying Birds, Noel's band, in Croke Park a couple of years ago, supporting the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I saw that tour of Liam did it Definitely Maybe, but it was in the Tree Arena in Dublin, and I've seen both. They're both great, but each gig you go to, you're like, I just fucking wish it was Oasis.
Yeah.
Because you have two.
So I go and see Morrissey, and you're like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, like you just, you want to. They're both equally great, but together there's just something different. And then there's like this mass hysteria that just happened the minute that they dropped last year, that they're doing a tour or something is happening. People just lost their minds and have been losing their minds for like a year as it builds up. Then it kind of, and like a part of me was worried that it would be an anticlimax where it's like, what happens if this isn't the best show ever? But they fucking.
I think as well. Do you think there's something in like now 2025? You're more used to going to the band that you love. Back maybe in the late 2000s, mid 2000s, I don't remember going to many concerts that, like, if I liked a band, I'd buy the album because you bought the album, and that was the way you showed your fandom. And you might go to a gig, but like it didn't reflect how much you loved the band. Do you know what I mean? Like that, but when like now, I think we're more willing to go out. We're more willing to go to concerts. Like it's a bigger part of the music industry. Concerts.
Well, I think as well, because streaming killed the whole merchandise thing. To be a fan, to support a band, is to go to a show and buy a T-shirt or like whatever, their merch, and give your money back. It's like the same as an album is really. Like, it's what? Well, some bands charge fucking 50 quid for a T-shirt if you're Iron Maiden, but some will charge. The Mary Wallopers charge 20 quid at their gigs, or 25 for a T-shirt. But like you're enjoying the music, you're showing the support to the band, you're putting arses on seats, and you're buying a bit of merch as well. And like that's how they make their money these days. It's not streaming. Like I think what was this? 1 million streams is like
a bit of quid.
It's $4,000, I think.
Wow, yeah.
1 million streams, like.
Fucking hell.
Which, like, some artists is a lifetime goal to get 1 million streams. And imagine if you're in a band, you have to fucking break $4,000 up. There's your yearly salary. Thanks. Like if you sold 1 million albums, you'd be on your way to being a billionaire, you know. Whereas
the world's different. I think there's a bit of that going on. Do you want to hear something quite cool I put together?
Yeah.
So I thought Noel Gallagher was talking about the poetry scene back in the mid 80s and early 90s that he went to see Lemsa say. There's a clip of him reading out the start of Beasley Street, and I've mashed it up with John Cooper Clarke doing Beasley Street. So are you ready for the duo of the Manchester movement of the 90s?
Forget the
it's not
Gallagher
Oasis,
brothers.
it's John Cooper Clarke and Noel Gallagher. This is Noel Gallagher and John Cooper Clarke with Beasley Street.
Okay, this is Beasley Street by John Cooper Clarke. Far from crazy pavements, the taste of silver spoons, a clinical arrangement on a dirty afternoon, where the fecal germs of Mr. Freud are rendered obsolete. The legal term is null and void in the case of Beasley Street. In the cheap seats where murder breeds, some body is out of breath. Sleep is a luxury they don't need, a sneak preview of death. Belladonna is your flower, manslaughter is your meat. Spend a year and a couple of hours on the edge of Beasley Street.
The boarding house and the bed sits full of accidents and fleas. Somebody gets it where the missing persons freeze, wearing dead men's overcoats. You can't see their feet. This rift joint shuts, opens up right down on Beasley Street. Cars collide, colours clash, disaster movie stuff. For the man with the Fu Manchu moustache, revenge is not enough. There's a dead canary on a swivel seat, there's a rainbow in the road. Meanwhile on Beasley Street, silence is the mode. It's hot beneath the collar. An inspector calls. The perishing stink of squalor impregnates the walls. The rats have all got rickets. They spit through broken teeth. A bloodstain is your ticket one way down Beasley Street. The hipster and his haircut drive a borrowed car. He looks like the Duke of Edinburgh, but not so la-di-da. OAP mother-to-be, watch that three-piece suite. When shite catcher drains and crocodile skis are seen on Beasley Street. The kingdom of the blind. A one-eyed man is king. Beauty problems are redefined. The doorbells do not ring. Light bulbs burst like blisters. The only form of heat where a fellow sells his sister down the middle of Beasley Street. The boys are on the wagon, the girls are on the shelf. Their common problem is that they're not someone else. The dirt blows out, the dust blows in, you can't keep it neat. It's a fully furnished dustbin, 16 Beasley Street. People turn to poison quick as lager turns to piss. Sweethearts are physically sick every time they kiss. It's a sociologist's paradise, each day repeats. Uneasy, cheesy, greasy, queasy, Beasley Street.
That was Beasley Street by the fantastic duo Noel Gallagher and Dr. John Cooper Clarke.
Shivers, that, wasn't it?
I think he's probably the most featured poet we've done on this podcast. John Cooper
You'd
Clarke.
be surprised. We featured him in the second pod, and then I think we think about him a lot, and we haven't really spoken about him
He's
since.
forever in our hearts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's funny, man. Like, I never really thought about the influence of John's work with Oasis' work, but like Oasis's early music is really about like white poverty dreams. Really, it's like men, like down and out men who are like just hoping for better tomorrows and fucking all that. You know what I mean? There's
a thing I want to show you, and it's Colm Keegan put up a post. You see this about Oasis?
No.
So Colm Keegan put up this amazing, for those who don't know, Colm Keegan is a great poet based in Dublin from Ballymun. But he put up this post about Oasis. Now it's a bit lengthy, so I'm going to there's a line that's stuck in my head.
Yeah.
So he just said, I'm going to read the intro paragraph. So it goes, in the 90s I thought I was in Oasis. I had 2 tickets to the point, but in a moment of madness I sold them. That was one of those fork in the road moments, but looking back I was losing interest in them, right? So it goes on for a while. But he says basically his love for Oasis and like how important it is that what they did. And he's like Noel Gallagher singing acoustic on a B-side and think that could actually be me. It's a fucking huge thing to do for someone, and they did that for so many people. Where would we all be without that? Listen to this. They didn't make art for us, they made being us art. Yeah.
That is dead on, isn't it? That is on the money.
I was like, that's a fucking...
And if you just look back on your formative years of 16 and 18, if there wasn't someone in popular culture that was a bit like you, that told you that he is like you, and there's a better world above,
beyond the wall,
where would you be? That's the importance of art, isn't it?
It's hope. It's hope to the people for like us can do something with their lives that doesn't just involve getting a job, hating it, and going to the pub on a Friday.
Yeah, fuck me.
That's all. You don't want to get caught in that rat race, you know. And they made it possible for so many people in the 90s, and even today they're like they've like there was people at that gig. I have to say, now there was a lot of people like our age and up, but there was a lot of young people there, and like you're talking like kids that all the way up to teenagers, early 20s, late 20s, 30s, and so on. So like it was all generations at it, like, you know, and that's the beauty of it, is that like the impact they've had wasn't just one generation of people; it's every generation since.
But an important band.
Yeah,
an important band.
One of the funniest things was remember Lewis Capaldi's little kind of fake war
beef with Noel.
His beef with Noel, and he got his hair cut like Noel. And then there's a video him at a Noel Gallagher concert, and he's with his daughter, like Noel's daughter, and he's like, da, shouting at the stage, and she's like, da, shouting at the stage. Like, he's the ultimate troll.
Yeah, but then you've also got like Green Chan saying, when he was asked what do you think about the Oasis reunion, he said, I don't give a fuck. And then when he's on stage, he wore a Bows jersey with Oasis on. Like, great crack. Like, that's like that's, I don't know, there's like levels to that trolling.
Yeah,
I actually love that.
100%. Like, you know, but I think they definitely went to the fucking shows. They definitely went to one of them at least.
Yeah,
snuck in.
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean?
They were definitely at O'Donoghue's afterwards as well.
They were just fucking.
Joanne
They were
McNally.
being a lame and just riling everyone up and then still going to do it anyway.
Going, yeah. Actually love, yeah.
Just want to piss them off.
Well, listen, young people being inspired, maybe that's going to happen in next weekend's picnic.
Oh yeah.
So Electric Picnic is next weekend, and we're pumped. We'll be there, as well as so many other amazing stuff. And I think, like, if you had never been to the picnic before, it's more than the headliners, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't know, Electric Picnic is like the Ireland's biggest festival. About 70,000 people are going to be there across 2 days.
Like
4 days if you really like it. If you go on the Thursday.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. I'll be on now. I'm going.
If you really got nothing on, you'll be there Thursday afternoon.
Oh, listen to me. I'm going into the office on Thursday, and I've got my car packed, and I'm leaving the office to go straight there. That's where I'm going.
But I just love the smaller things going on. There's so much art. There's so many interesting talks. Like, you know, there's also raves that last till 2 days later, but it's a beautiful place to go. And what makes it beautiful, really, I think, is the effort that the people behind the scenes do to put on the special stages that we go to.
Yeah.
And we're lucky enough to know Dave Hines, who is the curator of the Word Stage in the Minefield area of EP. And this podcast is really going to be a showcase of all of the great acts. I'm going to tell you when they're on and where they're going. But I wanted to hear from Dave first to tell us a little bit about what it's like to curate the stage and tell us a bit about the weekend. So this is Dave Hines.
Hello everyone, my name is Dave Hines. I'm the curator and host of Spoken Word at the Word Tent in Minefield at Electric Picnic, and I just want to tell you a little bit of what's going to be going on over the weekend. We kick off on Friday at 12 and we run till about just after 4, and on Saturday we'll be on from 11 in the morning till 5, and Sunday from 11 to 5 too. And we've a really, really great weekend lined up for you. If anyone, you're welcome to come along and spend the whole weekend in the tent with us. And if you're a fan of spoken word, we've got some of the best people in the country performing. We've got page poets, we've got prize winners, we've got All-Ireland champions, both current and former, such as Cormac Fitzgerald, who's the current All-Ireland Poetry Slam champion and the UNESCO Slamavision champion. We've got former All-Ireland ones, Nuala Leonard and Leon Dunn. We've got poets from Belgium, Germany, Cyprus. We've even got poets from outside Europe, far-flung places like Scotland and England. We've got 34 people performing who haven't performed with us before. A lot of them new and some of them seasoned. As anyone on the scene would know, I could run the tent for a week and I still wouldn't have room for everybody. And the standard is just so amazing in the country at the moment. We've got people from every corner of Ireland. We have groups who've been running events around the country. From Waterford we have Slip of the Tongue. We've got it in Port Sounds, who would be from Portlaoise. And we've a few of the groups from Dublin, How That Keep It, Dublin's finest. There's also the Roisin Tide, who, as I'm sure you know, I'm involved with Sheila Ryder and Leon, and they'll be bringing over Andy Porter and the Fingal champion Kev Kennedy, and the Poetry's Dead podcast, who have the scoop of the whole weekend, Simon Jones from The Verve. And that will be the last thing on the Sunday. So you should definitely make your way along from that. I was hoping to do a poem, so I'm hoping I've got time to read this. So this is one that I did for the Lewin Press, and it was just a celebration of the poets. They say the family can be ones you choose, the ones that make you feel all the brand news, the sunshine that gets you making the hay, the ones that make you love back in the day. They're the oxygen in the blood, the ones that don't criticise with could, would, should. They get you out of your castle, tell you it's worth all the hassle. The ones that support, tell you to sally forth. They value your word and know your worth. They accept who you are, even when you don't, and be kind to you, especially when you won't. They're there, they care, and at the end of the day, they listen to everything you say. They say that family can be the ones you choose. Try it, especially if you've got nothing to lose. Go and find yourself some motley crews. So come along over the weekend. I hope to see you all. Thank you.
Thanks, Davey. Lethal stuff. What we got next now, Ryan, babe? We've got a action-packed, jam-jarred episode.
Well, I think what we should do, right, is you've seen the list of acts, right? Dave's obviously called out a lot there. One thing that stuck out to me is something called the Poetry Divas. Did you see this? The Poetry Divas.
I've no idea who they are, but it caught my eye.
I don't know who they are either. So I got in touch with all of them, and two of them have responded to me.
Two divas out of three.
Two divas. Niamh Bagnall and Kate Dempsey. Right. So the Poetry Divas are a collective of,
divas,
as you'd expect, poetry divas who are just great crack. I mean, like, we're going to listen to the voice of Kate Dempsey in a sec read out one of her poems.
Yeah.
But the first email that I got from anybody at EP when we were putting the episode together was Niamh Bagnall, who sent me two poems, right? I didn't know which one to share. Like, Saturday at 12 o'clock, 12 till 1, it sounds like it's going to be an absolute giggle fest. So I'm definitely going to be there. I'll read this one out to you. This is a play on the song from my The Sound of Music, My Favourite Things, but it's like my the shittiest things. It's called Useless Things, right? So we'll read it out. This one is from Niamh Bagnall, and it's called Useless Things. Violin lessons for dogs with arthritis, paper umbrellas and gods that might smite us, large chocolate aeroplanes, honeycomb wings. These are a few of the most useless things. Hair gel for bald men, face yoga for babies, clothes dryers that run on the steam from meat gravies, websites that show autumn fashions in spring qualify also as more useless things. When I've no likes, when real life stings, makes me feel all sad, I metaphorically dismember or slay useless things, and then I don't feel so bad. Earrings for kittens and ashtrays on scooters, thoughts and yes prayers too for victims of shooters, body autonomy only for men, bad things that happen again and again, when there's airstrikes on small children, killing mum and dad. Well, that's got to be the most useless idea that anyone's ever had.
That was Useless Things by Niamh Bagnall.
We were tricked. We were lured again. Wow, that was powerful, wasn't it? I was so confused, like, reading it. I was like, oh, where are we going here?
Yeah.
And then in the middle of the poem, I was like shook. I was like, oh fuck, I'm saying this now from up there.
Yeah.
Imagine being on the other end of that.
It starts off, it lures you in with humour, and then it starts to have a hidden message, lures you in with the carrot, and then it smacks you with the stick.
I feel smacked.
Be a better person.
I need a breather.
Yeah.
Thanks, Niamh. Thanks for sharing that. It was fucking class.
Ryan's off to have a silk cup purple.
I think I need a bloody cup of tea here. The part of another person as part of the Poetry Divas is Kate Dempsey. She's also sent us a poem. This is a poem from Kate Dempsey.
Hi, I'm Kate Dempsey from the Poetry Divas. We are delighted and excited to be going back to Electric Picnic. We're going to be on Saturday at noon in the Word. We're a group of women poets who've been working together for a long, long time. and we like to say that we blur the boundary between page and stage. Here's a very short poem that will give you an idea of the type of things that we cover. It's called MASH. I was at a village fete with you in the sunshine, hand in hand, bouncy castle, tombola, homemade jam. I judged the mashed potato contest, giving marks for presentation, flavour, consistency. The winner, a dimpled woman of Amish appearance. What's your secret? I asked before I woke. It's about love, she said. All about love. Thanks very much. See you at the picnic.
That was MASH by Kate Dempsey.
So I think as the first thing really that's happening at the word stage, the girls are going to bring it. I'm really excited to sit there and enjoy that.
The beacons will be lit at the word stage at 12 o'clock.
So yeah, 12 o'clock on Saturday. You can catch Niamh and Kate do their thing.
Lovely.
Lovely.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
We'll be there with bottles of Buckfast.
Can you take alcohol into the...
You can, yeah.
Yeah, I think you can.
The thing about being an artist is you have to just have full confidence that you're allowed to do anything you want.
Mm.
Without being an arsehole, but just be like, no, I'm going in there with this. And they're like, oh, sorry, yeah, okay. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Usually you're allowed to bring drink in as an artist, but it can change with the weather. Last year it changed twice. It was you're allowed, then you weren't, then you were, then you weren't. So I don't know. But look, you can just chance it.
Chance to give it a go.
Do you know what I mean? Get one of them running bladders and fill it full of Buckfast. You can be running around afterwards.
Do you think, question for you, do you think that it should be televised?
Glastonbury? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, well, like, because you have, you have a job in radio, so you know what it's like for a radio to broadcast Glastonbury. It's great to watch Glastonbury on telly. Yeah. What are the reasons? Like, why wouldn't it be? Like, what's happening?
I honestly don't know. I don't know, because people watch the Isle of Wight festival. They watch, I don't know how big the Isle of Wight is.
Sorry, mate, people watch the fucking Rose of Tralee. I watched that last night. I watched it.
Yeah.
I watched it till about 11. You're bleach, by the way.
In fairness, could you imagine Dahi O'Shea with a fucking bucket hat on, playing standing a chapel round?
And I want him there, actually. That would be amazing. But what's happening? Like, I don't get it. I just don't understand why. Sure, it might be complicated to film, but TG can't do fucking live performance all the time. Like,
and then RT do other voices.
They're the one station that really step up actually in culture is TG Car.
Yeah. TG Car was set up by Michael D. Higgins.
Well,
there you go.
That doesn't fucking surprise me.
Now I know there's going to be radio at it, so I know like 2FM will be down there with the Roadcaster. Today FM will be there as well with their mobile unit, and so there will be live radio coming from it, but they just won't be like broadcasting the actual shows. You know, they might get some of the smaller acts in. Like 2FM usually have they have a Roisin list where it's all of the upcoming artists that are coming up in Ireland, and they'll interview them and they might get them to do like a little performance. They got Bird in during All Together now, and like, you know, have you ever heard Bird?
Yeah, of course,
the 11 women, did 5 of them in like in the Roadcaster having a gig. Like there was like fucking, like did a guitarist, did a Bowron player, did a fiddle, did the concertina, and all. It was fucking unreal.
I just think that there's any excuse because they did The Flower as well. The Flower was on telly. I watched it.
Yeah.
On RTE.
Yeah.
They watched it. I watched it. It was really well done. Okay, grand. It was one stage that they were doing pretty much, and they were going into the crowd and that, like, it was, I don't know, the fucking late show, or whatever, but like, it was still good. It's better than not doing it.
Do you know who else was there? TG Car at the Flower.
Of course they fucking would be.
Fucking bring maybe I watched on
TG Car. I actually don't know. But
wasn't Irish.
But the point is like, there's a lot of people performing that next weekend that would benefit massively from being on telly. That would never be on telly. Do you know what I mean? Like the Glastonbury coverage I watched. Did you ever watch the when like famous people read out letters? You ever see that? Like Benedict Cumberbatch reads a letter, or like Evan Welsh. We talked about it.
Andrew Garfield roaring crying.
Yeah, things like that. Like arty stuff can go on telly and it will be watched. So like, just take the risk. Put a camera at a smaller stage and just see what happens.
Well, RTE do other voices down in Ingle.
Yeah, but that is, again, it's the only thing.
Yeah, but like that's, and people watch other
people
voices
watch
all
it
the
and
time,
they love
so
it.
They definitely could. Or like, I think it's obviously a big operation, but they're more than capable of doing it. Like, you know, but maybe it's just don't know, logistics or bureaucracy or some shit.
Bollocks, fuck off.
They might listen to this podcast and fucking steal our idea.
They should. They actually should, because I just think it should be on telly.
No.
On the Saturday later on that afternoon, you've got Kev Kennedy's Hold That Keep It group.
Keep it.
And there's some brilliant acts on that lineup, but one of the really top performers of the day is going to be Dom Byrne. So we've gotten Dom to again send us a poem. And yeah, I actually can't wait to go and see him. I've never seen him live.
Have you not?
I just I've just seen his Instagram videos.
I love Dan Byrne.
Looking forward to that.
He's very.
You've seen him live, yeah?
I've seen him a few times. He's like unusual kind of. He reminds me of Talking Heads. I don't know why the band Talking Heads. He has this kind of. I think maybe because he dresses like them a little bit, but he has this kind of. He's very, very funny, but can switch. He can also do like, really deep poems, but has this kind of. He can be hilarious as well. Okay. And incredible poem. Looking forward to seeing El Dom doing his thing live, and also listening to this poem that he has sent into us.
Same. This is the poetry of Dom Byrne.
Hey guys, my name's Dom Byrne. I think I've got COVID at the moment, so sorry if I'm a bit low energy, but I'm going to be performing on the Saturday at EP at 4 p.m. with Hold That Keep It. And just a little bit about my poetry style. I'm a wannabe CMAT/Jesse Wells in poetry form, and the piece I'm going to be doing is called Working Hard or Hardly Working. Big books at the library frighten me. I feel far, far away with the fairies, miles away from the milkmaid Marys or the diligent Dans or the workhorses McMahon. But I've plans to make plans to make plans to make plans to prioritize prettiness and neatly, messily styled hair and pretending not to care and stifling a wistful, lustful stare. Just in time. Is that really such a crime? That's what I'm trying to decipher. My life tastes deliciously non-committal. Like summertime picky bits you can't resist Instagramming. But they never quite fill your gut like the salmon of knowledge would. Call me Fraudy Mercury, I'm not even serious about drugs. I floatingly fandango between thoughts like a flying squirrel. No, not a flying squirrel. They seem quite decisive and direct. More like a drunken summer bee repeatedly crashing into the window, hurriedly trying to leave, but not really knowing where he's trying to go. But who knows where they're off to, really? Or if it's all a dream, or if it's one big clusterfuck, a mess, absurd, obscene, exactly. That's what I'll be. A joker in the pack, a sacrificial guinea pig, a floater in the jacks. A poet, actor, sampler, experimental dancer, not know-it-all or clever clogs, just a good, hard-working chancer. 'Cause Plato's caves still chock-a-block, too many bear the motions, and even though I'm just a drop, I've seen windows through to ocean, so in striking, stripy morph suit, I will drift from A to B, to C to D, to E to F, to report back to the Queen. I've collected all the nectar, ma'am, along with all the dust. That must have been some buzz, she says. Yeah, it fucking was.
That was Dom Byrne with Working Hard or Hardly Working.
Can you just, like, you've got Dom Byrne, David Byrne, Talking Heads, dress him in a big suit, get him to sing Psycho Killer. Psycho Killer. Kiss, say the Dom Byrne, the Dom Byrne.
Speaking of words that you never really hear in music, like qu'est-ce que c'est, fandango. I never really hear the word fandango in a poem.
Fandangoing all day. I was fandangoing all weekend. I was.
You've got to support that work, really.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I
knew he was going to say, yeah, it fucking was at the end.
I think Dom, he kind of makes you slightly confused through his poem. Like, where is he going with this? But then we'll always bring it back. And you're like, oh, no,
that's what it was.
I know what it's about now. Where it's just kind of sometimes like it's just saying things to be funny, but no, there's actually a whole meaning behind the whole thing. It's very good, very enjoyable.
He would be a good fit to take over the George Bernard Shaw rotating shed we talked about last week that you could move to match the sun.
I heard he's camping in it for EP in the artist camp. He's bringing it down by horse and cart.
Doing fuck all. Other than doing an hour, 10 minutes of poetry.
He's recovering from an illness.
Yeah, he's got COVID. That's
look, he
got a couple of days. He's got a week.
He's got a week to recover. He'd be grand. He'd be strong as an ox.
Do you remember when COVID came and in Ireland everything was locked down and in England it was Cheltenham? Looking back.
And it's like, why would be all the super spreaders? People going over on the boat, coming back and massively spreading it through the boat.
That's probably got something to do with it.
I'd say they had great crack though.
Yeah, I'd say they did, yeah.
And it
I was going to make a joke about it. It was odds on that was what happened. Horse racing joke there, just for you.
Horse racing. What's on next?
So that wraps up our Saturday. Then Sunday, we're on, which is good.
Yeah.
But before that, we've got a couple of hours of absolute bangers. Roisin Carney, right, is someone who I've known for a number of years.
Yeah.
Such a sound lass, rapper and poet.
Flo Rowe,
and he's busy. Like Flo Rowe is fucking everywhere. She works so hard at the craft, and it's been great to see where her trajectory's gone, and actually how her art has kind of been refined. Because I think when you're really good at rapping and you also like poetry, a bit like Heavy Kevy was a rapper, wasn't he? In the
he
band.
Was.
So you don't really know which way to go. So she's been super successful with the rap. Like she's had some great tracks, but also really uplifting and insightful poet.
Yeah.
So I think it's just going to be a pleasure to watch her. So she's going to be at the Word Stage at 12 o'clock on the Sunday.
Oh, lovely. Straight after Mass.
Straight after Mass. And I will get up out of the tent for this.
You will, yeah.
I don't know if I'm much about me, but I will be there.
You'll sleep with your shoes on, just so you can roll out.
It'll be tough enough, but I'll be there anyway.
Oh, yeah.
This is the voice of Flo Rowe, Roisin Carney.
Well, hello there. Hello to Ryan and Leon and Poetry's Dead podcast. I am going to be at Electric Picnic in the Word Tent this year. I'm totally honoured. My name is Roisin Carney. Stage name is Flo Rowe. I do spoken word, and then I've recently brought some beats in, so kind of like rap. But yeah, I absolutely love the Irish art scene at the moment, and I'm really blessed to know such wonderful people like yourselves. So without further ado, I'm going to give you one of the poems I'll be performing at the Word Tent, and this is called To Die Is To Have Lived, and it's for, I suppose, try to understand grief, accept it, and also know it's okay not to be okay, you know. It's called To Die Is To Have Lived. In life, we won't get out alive, so while alive, try to thrive. Do your best to make life sweet. Seek happiness with each heartbeat. Work hard and play hard too. Always remaining true to you. Try to see the positive sides, and whatever you do, do it with pride. Life can be tough and cruel, it's true. The worst when a loved one is taken from you, and there's nothing you can do. You want to start anew. Your tears have tears, you realise your worst fears. You're left behind with memories to mind. You search but you can't find peace of mind. The world's a disgrace, you want to leave this place. You want to follow them away because they won't answer when you pray. But there's a time to live and there's a time to die. There's a time to love and a time to cry. To wonder why. Why this happened, you denying that it's true. Times will pass and seasons change. We'll become strong as we learn to rearrange. Life without you in it each day. Except you don't answer, but you hear when we pray. Know that you're always in our memory. And life can still be beautiful amidst its tragedies. Our bodies simply vessels until our souls are free. And yes, it might feel wrong as time will move along. You must remain strong and keep on singing their song. And though we're left behind, take comfort in the find we had them for a time when everything was fine. And though physical presence is no more, in our hearts they live forevermore. Thank you.
That was Flo Rowe, aka Roisin Carney, with To Die Is To Have Lived.
Yeah, just great. Really, really amazing.
Flo Rowe faux show.
Yeah. I just think it's on the money. And that will help you, fuck's sake. I mean, if you've lost someone recently and you hear that is what poetry is all about. It's going to help you.
Yeah, I think it's
really powerful.
And the great thing about, like, Dave does a great job of bringing so many different voices from so many different backgrounds that you can literally go and experience all different kinds of poetry that would resonate with everyone. It's not just like a particular type of poetry. And that's what I think when some people curate like shows and have a lot of acts, they bring the acts they like.
Jobs for the boys kind of.
Yeah, like, you know, and not that like, oh, I'm only bringing me mates, but it's more like I know I have a particular type, and I'm sure you have a particular type.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
But Dave just brings everyone, and he you know, because he knows it's important to include people from all walks of life and all different kinds of backgrounds, and because, you know, it's a festival for everyone. It's not just for certain people, like, you know. And it's great as well because you can just kind of stumble in and you're just witnessing poetry that you probably never would have seen before, and then you're like, this is fucking brilliant. I saw Mike Garry at the first time I was at EP.
Yeah,
I didn't know who he was.
Oh, that's perfect, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially when it happens to you when you're doing it, when you're on stage and you kind of see because you know what it's like, you kind of perform and you pick a few people who are giving you the eyes and like they're your support, but then in your peripherals you'll see a couple walk into the tent and you're like, oh, hello, hang on, what's happening there? And they'll stay, and that'll give you more down. Yeah, you've sat down, how you get, and that'll give you more momentum, and like finding new stuff at the picnic that's what you're there for.
The best part. Yeah. Rambling just going around having a look. In fairness, though, last year I saw Shakalak 3 times.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't.
That was far too many times.
Yeah.
Although I probably, if they were playing 3 times this year, I would go see them again. And I saw John Cummins perform poetry. So I saw John Cummins 4 times.
Yeah, I saw him do the poetry set as well. It was amazing. What about did you go to the karaoke van?
I've been there before, the caravan.
You should have seen me go at it last year doing
Jerry
Jerry Cinnamon Belter.
Oh, yeah.
I was smacking the roof. She's a belter.
Unreal.
Oh, yeah, let me fucking go.
It sounds like the Father Ted caravan fucking bouncing around the place.
Yeah, it was bouncing around the place.
I've been there before. I think we put on Maniac 2000 and there was like 5 or 6 of us, and one actually came in and was like, will you stop jumping? We were like, oh, sorry.
It's like a sweatbox. Where's the studio? But it's so fucking good.
Yeah, and there's no windows around. You're just there fucking sweat.
There you go.
That's great.
Jeez. The next poet I only was introduced to because of an event that you were hosting.
Really?
It was I think it was the slam competition at the International Literary Festival Dublin.
Oh yeah. That was a big event. Yeah, it was great to be part of that festival. Like, as I said, the year before there was no spoken word events at that festival, and this year there was 4. So like,
amazing.
You know, we're on the up.
Fucking 3 of them.
I was at fucking 3. Yeah, I was a passenger for one. I was only you know, watching it, but it was great to see, like, you know, that it's on the up. But like, Slamavision's brilliant because you can, you know, Slamavision, yeah. So it was the qualifier. So the final is actually coming in. I think it's the end of November or early December. So the date is yet to be decided, but it'll be coming to Dublin because Cormac Fitz won it last year. So, but Slamavision is brilliant because anyone can sign up, and I think there was 13 poets just gone, and next year it'll be in Irish because Ireland is bilingual, so it's 1 year English, 1 year Irish, 1 year English. But there's all people, you know, some people come that you definitely know, some you'd never seen before, and some just do fucking incredible, and like I've never seen them do before. So that's the best thing about the competitions, is that anyone can just show up and take part, you know. So
yeah, so this is Holly Hughes, who did a really powerful piece on the night. Took a stand, really.
Yeah.
I admire people like this. I admire any creative person who takes a stand. Obviously, there's many impressive people who are taking many stands in the Ireland creative field at the moment.
Definitely.
But like to do it on a stage where everyone can feel that energy is very powerful.
Yeah, it's visceral.
Yeah, it's visceral.
I actually first saw Holly perform at the All Ireland, and it was her I'd like to say it's our first competition, but it was the first time doing the All Ireland, definitely. And she came third. And like,
wow, amazing.
First time doing the All Ireland, goes on straight, gets third. Like, you know, she was absolutely brilliant. So I'm looking forward to seeing her at the picnic as
and
well.
like, I know it sounds like a bit of a like weird thing to say, but like, not a word dropped. Not a word dropped. Never seen someone so fucking polished.
Yeah.
For someone who's not been doing.
And she's
it for a
rapid fire delivery as well.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying.
That's difficult to do.
Really difficult. So this is "Stop the Feeling" by Holly Hughes.
Hello. Sorry, I'm a little bit nasally because I have a cold, so this is not going to be the best. This is called "Stop the Feeling." Yeah, so I'm like totally not okay. I just feel like half the world is at a pool party, sipping daiquiris lurid as blood, and Elon Musk is on the decks in a Hawaiian t-shirt, and that celebrity I once loved is doing bumps bopping along to Charlie XCX, and I'm just like, how? Except I'm also at the pool party. Everyone who sees me says, man, that girl is having fun. Look at her. So carefree, resplendent in fluorescent accessories. But when I look at the pool, all I see are bodies. Floating, bloated and warped, swollen flesh, bruised skin, one accusing eye open, unblinking, cold mouth, a silent scream. Can no one else see them? Still, I'm in a bikini and hating my hair. How can it be dry and greasy? Make it make sense to me. OMG, that's so funny, I'm saying, because I've just moved somewhere new and this is how you make friends. Being amused and nodding enthusiastically while brandishing your best anecdotes and using the phrase cognitive dissonance in the hope these strangers will know it isn't okay. This flippancy, as you say so casually, let's get coffee, okay, text me. And sometimes I even forget about the dead bodies. In fact, when the daiquiris come for me, I want to forget them, those pleading corpses. Charlie says the apple's rotten right to the core. Thought that was a metaphor for democracy, for misinformed elections, corrupt presidents, the whole pageantry. What if it's a metaphor for me? I keep dancing to Robin, but there is this wall of glass between us, the gyrating living, the writhing dead. So I know the bodies are there, the way that sharks are there in an aquarium, but they just don't really seem real, you know? Like, how can a shark be so close while I'm still so safe? Like, how can a killer whale be staring at me down in Killarney? Like, haha, that's just mad. Like, lizard brain can't compute. And like, this is crazy. But imagine if that glass just shattered. And the sharks were everywhere, killing us. Imagine if there was no glass between us and them. If we were all just broken limbs, bumping broken limbs, you know? I take another sip. And we start talking about those new recycling bins. They're the gamification of sustainability. Next season of Bad Sisters and how stressful it is. Skincare. I am earnestly worried about blackheads. Except then I'm on the toilet and I take out my phone just to check if he texted. He didn't. And at the end of my arm is the end of the world and I'm screaming. I am screaming at the horror, but Chapel Rowan is playing. In every cubicle, the girlies are squealing with glee, and even my foot is tapping. You'd have to stop the world just to stop the feeling. I want it to stop. I want so desperately to just be a woman at a pool party. But tell me, Chapel, tell me, how can I be that when all of the guests are dead?
That was Stop the Feeling by Holly Hughes. Powerful piece.
You know what? As I was listening to it, I was thinking of a book that I read called Prophet Song last year, and it won the Booker Prize, or it won a prize by Paul. Oh, who wrote Prophet Song? I'll think about it later on. Anyway, it's about dystopian Dublin. It's about an Irish world where
Paul Lynch.
It was Paul Lynch who. That's it. Paul fucking Lynch wrote it. And it's about a world where things change on the sixpence, where like people are going from like having the crack and going for lattes to like, oh, someone was at a protest, and a bit like what was happening in England with the Palestine Action arrest. You see that the peaceful protest, people like older people getting arrested.
Yeah,
you know, I look at that and go like, that's the start. That is the fucking start of like. I know like Holly's poem's a little different because it's actually about warfare, and this isn't really, but it made me feel like, oh, things could change really quickly. You know, it's quite difficult to not see that when things are going a bit askew with fucking Mo Cara being arrested, and he was in the courts today, and like, you never know, things change on a sixpence.
Well, even like look at mass hysteria can build very quickly. Remember when we were talking about COVID earlier, but when the lockdowns were starting and everyone fucking ransacked at the supermarkets and like bought everything. And it was just panic buying, and then people didn't know what to do. And we laugh at it now in hindsight, but back then people were like really afraid. And it wasn't just like, oh, what am I going to wipe my arse with? But it was more like, what happens if there's no food?
Yeah.
What happens then? Like that can happen. You miss 2 deliveries when
you never really believed it. That's the thing. Like there are people, but there are. Do you know what I mean? Like not. There are. Sorry, I don't know why I'm being hesitant. This is the problem with like talking about it. There are people now who are starving, pal.
Yeah.
And like like in COVID, like it was kind of play. It was like cosplay.
Yeah.
Like you went to Tesco and you bought too many crisps. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it wasn't real. You know what I mean?
No.
It wasn't fucking real.
But that was the closest thing we had.
The closest thing we'll ever probably have to that life.
Yeah.
It'll get you fucking talking, that poem, if anything. Jesus Christ, won't it? Fuck me.
She's got some great work. She does a lot of activism poems as well, which is, you know, it's good. As I said, they're using our art as a beacon and as a weapon to fight against injustice, I suppose. You know.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's a powerhouse.
Nice. After Holly's set, we've got Emma O'Brien, Ned Dunn, and the poet Jeff. And we actually haven't featured a poem from Jeff, but we actually did.
Have we not?
No, but we interviewed him last year on site, and I was really keen to get his words on the podcast as we prepare for next week. So, and he's kindly sent us a poem. This is the voice of the poet Jeff.
Jeff Finan.
How's things? It's the poet Jeff here. Thanks to Liam and Ryan and the Poetry's Dead podcast for asking me to do a poem for this episode. I'll be performing down at Electric Picnic with Dunn and the amazing Emma O'Brien on the Sunday at 3 p.m. Just before the Poetry's Dead podcast is there in the Word tent, and I can't wait for it. So the poem I'm going to do for you today is a poem called January 1919. I was commissioned to write this poem by the Lord Mayor at the time to celebrate the centenary of the first All in Ireland. So I hope you like it. It started here. The mansion house in the round room presided over by the Lord Mayor. A democracy that came from the people fostered over so many years. We'd come through risings and rebellions. Famines that were compounded by the likes of Trevelyan, from Wolfe Tone to Robert Emmet. Those brave leaders that sacrificed everything. Easter 1916. The men and women who ran for election in December 1918 and who turned down Westminster and went from MPs to Ireland's first TDs. The World War had finished, leaving England on its knees. O'Connell always said that we could live as slaves or die being free, demanding that we take our chance when England became weak. Parnell stressing that we do what's beyond our strength, for Ireland was never a geographical fragment. It was our nation. The first all. January 21st, 1919. Out of 105, there were 28 TDs in Lahore, some absent, other marked, imprisoned by foreigners. They started with the Dáil's Constitution, then on to our Independence Declaration, its ideals steeped in our proclamation, then sending a message out to the world's free nation, outlining our democratic programme, demanding the evacuation of our country by the English garrison, a light, for so long left dark, had once again found its spark. They had ratified the establishment of the Irish Republic, a country where every man, woman and child would be born free, promised that at the very least they be treated equally, be granted religious and civil liberties, the right to equal opportunity. It was a dream that we dreamed in our hearts. We never let it get torn apart, proving that no one could extinguish the Irish passion for freedom. So many forgotten figures had gotten us to this, choosing not to remain as subjects, but to rise with the hope of citizenship. Leading to a country creating a parliament that didn't exist, holding on to the dream of independence to give allegiance to Éire.
That was January 1919 by the great poet Jeff.
I actually never heard that before.
It's fucking cracking.
And I don't think he does it much when he does it, his live performances, because I've seen Jeff a lot.
Such a fucking flex, though. He was commissioned by the Lord Mayor of Dublin to commemorate the first Dáil.
Massive flex.
Like, for people who don't know what the Dáil is like the first kind of parliament in Ireland, and it's just fucking, that's incredible. Incredible flex. And it's in the National Library as well. Like, it's just, yeah. Jeff's a heavy hitter. It's unreal.
Nice. He'll be on 3 o'clock on the Sunday, and obviously then it's us. So kind of Dave Hines said earlier on, we've got a very special guest joining us. So we're going to be performing our own poems. We're going to be getting our audience members to write some poems as well, and then a really interesting conversation around the connection between lyricism and making music with the Verve's Simon Jones.
Yeah, we're going high. We're going to be the big guns here now. We're getting the big guns. Yeah, it's going to be unreal. Absolutely.
I can't wait. We've met him before, and he's a really insightful fella.
He's a sweetheart,
and he's so open as well, and he'll talk. So like, I'm really, because a lot of people in that room are going to be people that like look at music and like, I wish I could figure out how to turn my poetry into music. So hopefully that's going to help. So I can't wait to speak to him actually, and I can't wait. And we're at it's 4 o'clock on the Word stage on Sunday.
So we have a final message. So this isn't just the Word stage. The Manifesto stage also has the great poet Jan Brierton.
Not just her. There's celebrities in that tent.
She's got some heavy hitters as well. There's going to be a lot going on in the minefield area.
Rosie O'Donnell's going to be there.
Rosie O'Donnell's going to be there.
What?
What? Yeah, what? So Jan's at the send us a message about her show. She's doing Wild Words. She's curated kind of a few different acts, and we're going to play a little message from Jan before we wrap up the show with a bit of music.
Hiya Ryan, hiya Leon, good to be chatting to you both. I can't wait to see you both next weekend at Electric Picnic. I'm going to be there on Saturday. You'll find me this year at the Manifesto stage, and I was asked to curate it this year, which is gas, because I didn't really know what a curator does. But anyway, turns out it means just invite loads of people to come on, be at the stage and share their ideas. So yeah, look, I'm taking my show Wild Words, which was basically a celebration of words in all of its forms, with people who use words as their currency, actors, authors, poets, comedians. And yeah, so I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be curating the Manifesto stage at the Electric Picnic on Saturday, the 30th of August, and I'll be there from 12 until 6. And yeah, it's not only going to be me, it's going to be me and my guests. So I have Roisin Ingle as part of the programme, and she's going to be recording a special edition of the Irish Times Women's podcast with Rosie O'Donnell. And they'll chat about the power of words and the joy of a well-placed curse, which is right up my street because you know I love a swear word, and of the importance of strong and clear language in a precarious world. There'll be poetry and words and ideas and thoughts and discussion from Katrina O'Sullivan, the multi-million selling author at this stage, and Hilda Fay, the actor. I have TKB, aka Thomas Kane Byrne, who's an extraordinary talent in both acting and producing and writing for theatre. I have Joseph McGuckin, they'll be there together. Joseph is a comedian and an author and a writer. He actually wrote an incredible short film called Home Time, which I saw during the summer. So yeah, I can't wait for the two of them to have a good chat. I'll be there with Gearóid Farrelly, the comedian, but Gearóid's also an extraordinary writer, and he has got some brilliant prose and short stories that he's going to read, and I'll be reading a few of me poems there, and we'll be having a bit of crack. I have poet Henry Normal. He is also a comedy writer and he is a TV producer, and he's written with some of my absolute faves, Steve Coogan and the legendary, the late, I miss her so much, Caroline Aherne. Henry Normal is brilliant. He's going to do his show An Alphabet of Storms and it's going to be deadly. I'm going to be touring with him next year, and I can't wait for that. But this is a really nice chance to get to see him here just with this show. An Alphabet of Storms, Henry Normal. And then to close up the day, I have a rare performance of The Rent Woman, which is Brendan Behan's last first play. They think he wrote it when he was about 14 or 15. Now, I think Brendan Behan is the original wild worder. I loved how he threw a swear word out with abundance. I loved how he wrote in, what was his kind of North City Dublin vernacular. And I love also, he was like the original punk for me, in terms of his writing. And so it's really cool to be able to have him in the lineup in some way. So basically this is called, the play is called The Rent Woman. They think it is his very first play. They reckon he wrote it when he was about 14. They think it was inspired by his nanny English. And I have Nellie Conroy, I have Sarah Morris, Jimmy Murphy and Chloe Nivorku. And it'll be kind of part, kind of deep dive into the play and how they found it and the story behind it. But then Nellie and Sarah will also be performing an excerpt from it. So that's how we'll wrap up the day. But yeah, I hope to see loads of yous there. That's a podcast in itself, really, isn't it?
That was a message from Jan Brierton. Sorry, we didn't even say it was Jan Brierton.
Jan Brierton. Well, she's our mate.
Jan.
Yeah, our mate Jan.
Jan Brierton, the most popular, the most successful poet on the island.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she's doing well. She's rubbing shoulders with Rosie O'Donnell and all them people. So
I can't wait to go. And there's so much going on, really, at the Manifesto stage. I can't wait.
It's gonna be popping.
Well, after we finish wrapping up, there's going to be some lovely music from a band called Blue Lilac. Blue Lilac take the poetry of Phil Lynch.
Yeah.
We're big fans of Phil, and Blue Lilac take his words and turn them into song. So we're going to listen to one now. So this is a piece of music by Blue Lilac, and it is called "Let In the New Light." We've both heard that poem before from Phil, and it's brilliant. So this is Blue Lilac with "Let In the New Light." Leon, look forward to seeing you next weekend.
Always a pleasure, never. Chorine baby. I'll see you in the campsite there by the tents, supping on some warm cans of lager.
See you later.
Ciao, ciao. Bye bye.
Pull back the curtain, let in the new light. Pack the dark winter away out of sight. Let new thoughts blossom and grow to full bloom. Out with the old ones that darken the room. Sing a new anthem, let the music hold sway, with poems full of hope. Begin each new day. Ring bells, raise a cheer, let the laughter be loud. Lift minds to the sky, disperse that dark cloud. Make love, make it last, dance life round the floor. Spring has come knocking, fling open that door. anthem. Let the music all sway.